Hi everybody, this is another Flying Rookie video, and this is another video of my HT-FPV quadcopter. And as you guys saw in my previous video, I make a complete video from unboxing to first flight of the GPS system, the NASA GPS on my quad, and I explained throughout the previous video the whole process as best as I could, but there was something that I didn't include in that video, and as you guys saw on the flight test, I didn't post that much of the flight test because one thing that happened over there in that flight test that I didn't include in there is like I had a really ugly crash with this aircraft. Actually, it's the worst crash so far I ever had, and what I ever had in my life with this since I started flying. And the thing that impressed me the most is, as hard as that crash was, I can't believe that this aircraft wasn't completely destroyed. You know, it crashed from over 30 feet in the air, and it crashed solid into the ground, and it crashed upside down, and it crashed with the throttle on the throttle stick on full throttle. That makes the aircraft, hitting the ground even harder. Okay, so what I broke on the aircraft, I broke all 4 props. I broke this motor mount over here that I ordered already, and to be able to fly in the meantime, I put the zip ties to secure it, really nice, so I can at least fly it until I get the motor mounts from Hoverthings. Actually, they don't, for this aircraft, they don't sell the motor mounts. They sell the motor mounts for the all VC 450 and 550 quads. This motor mount is a little bit different, and for you to buy this motor mount, you got to buy the whole arm. So I bought a real arm and a front arm just to have it as a spare. I got the motor, then they come with the motor mounts. And the other thing that broke over here was the pole that holds the GPS antenna. It was completely destroyed, and the bracket, the rounded bracket that holds the antenna underneath, is bent. And for some weird reason, I don't know how in the hell this antenna didn't broke, but I'm gonna find out right now as soon as I decide to fly this thing if the GPS works or not. I done some tests with this thing, no flight test, but because I didn't have the props balanced yet, so I just took it outside. I plugged everything in, and just to see if the NASA detects the antenna and everything works fine, and all the lights and everything works fine. So I guess the antenna survived. But when I do the flight test, I'm gonna find out. And the final thing that broke, that was one of the things that hurt me the most, to see it destroy, was my video transmitter. The video transmitter that I had here was the 500 milliwatt 5.8 gigahertz, and that video transmitter, I was saving that to put it on a bigger aircraft that I'm gonna build. I'm gonna build like either a HETS large quad, something over 600 size, or a big helicopter, one or the other. And I'm not gonna have the chance to use it because it was destroyed on the crash, since this thing's now upside down. And the same thing when that happened, I received this one that I ordered almost like a week and a half ago. This is the new version of FOXTECH 5.8 gigahertz, but this is not the 200 milliwatt. This is the 400 milliwatts. So I was planning to put this one over here anyway, but I was expecting to doing it by destroying the other one. So the next thing is lighter, smaller than the other one, so it's okay. So I'm happy with it. Okay, so I'm gonna explain what caused the crash. Okay, so in that way you guys don't go through the same situation that I went through. The GPS was doing his job. I set up on my computer, I set up on the DJI software. I set up this an option that you can choose between if the aircraft goes on fail-safe, you want the aircraft just to land, or you want the aircraft to return to home and land. So I had it on return to home. And the thing that I didn't realize about return to home is that will make the aircraft fly all the way to 65 feet in the air, and then the aircraft will fly back to the point of origin, and then will make it land. Now the problem is that you see those tall trees over there. The aircraft was going up, but it was about to hit the tree. And the thing that I didn't realize is, like, when you activate the fail-safe on this, you cannot get the radio. You completely and totally lose command on the aircraft. Doesn't matter what you do, the aircraft is not going to obey the radio. There's only one way you can override that. In other words, the aircraft gets, acts it got a mind of its own. So the only way you can override that's something that I found out after I almost destroyed my aircraft, is that you have to turn off the failsafe. This is the switch that I used to turn on or off the failsafe, and then you have to switch the GPS off. You have to put it either manual, or you have to put it in in altitude mode, and that will disengage the fail-safe mode, and you will regain control of the aircraft. But the thing is, when I did that, because I was panicking with the switches to regain control of the aircraft, because I see the aircraft was getting close, I didn't realize I had the throttle, it was down. So as soon as the aircraft regained control, all the motors, they just stopped, and he started free falling. So when I saw that, I panicked. I gave him full throttle, and I didn't realize the aircraft was upside down. And when I gave it full throttle, he hit the ground even harder, and that's what it happened. Now I'm gonna lower the altitude a little bit, and I'm gonna go to fail-safe and see what's gonna happen. Oh, no. No. God damn it. Fuck. Damn. I'm fucked, man. So, what I did, so that way that doesn't happen again. Now I know. I didn't read the instructions on that part. A friend of mine that has the Wukon, that kinda is the same thing, and he also got the NASA GPS. He told me about it, and he's a guy that always I criticize him because he never liked to read, and for some reason this time he decided to read, and and I was the one in the wrong, and I didn't read that. And I realized that if I told this aircraft, if you set up on return to home, doesn't matter where he's hovering, he just come back, at the same altitude. But it doesn't do that. This thing will go up 65 feet in the air, then it will go back to the point of origin, and then it lands. So what I did is I went back to the software and I turned that off. If I want to do like a long range flight with this thing, like I'm gonna send it like way beyond, the line of sight, I won't be able to see it. Then I will activate the return to home. Though that's something you gotta do it with your computer. It's not like something you can program a switch, okay? And in that way, the aircraft will come back. But if I'm gonna do, like flying around, in areas that there's a lot of, trees, buildings, whatever, a lot of obstructions, I'm not gonna bother, because either way the aircraft probably will crash, because you hit the branch, the highest branch on the tree, it will crash anyway. So at least I know, at least you guys know, so that way you guys won't make the same mistake. Anyway, I'm gonna do a flight test with this, and like I said, the return to home was turned off. Now I just got it on auto landing, so if I hit the fail-safe, this thing is just gonna land whatever it's at. It's not gonna go to the point of origin or anything. Whatever it's at, it's just gonna land right there, and that's the end of it. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. Let me start this thing right now. There's a lot of garbage truck behind me. It's making a lot of freaking noise. Okay, my radio is on. Let me just... Okay. And now let me just plug in the aircraft. Okay, this battery is now, the flying time is not going to last that long with this battery, because I've been using the charge of this battery to set up this aircraft, so I might get like 6-7 minutes of flying time. You gotta be careful because this park is getting packed. Okay. Okay, when I got on altitude mode right now, and I get in the yellow light and the red light. So let me just go to GPS mode. Now I get in the green and the red light. Now the red light means that I haven't acquired the GPS signal yet. You know, the antenna is already calibrated to the flight controller, so it's just a matter of acquiring the satellites. It doesn't acquire the satellites, that thing is going to keep flashing red. Okay, now it's flashing repeatedly in green. And still haven't acquired all the satellites. Now it's flashing green and red. Green and red. So it's because I'm behind, I'm on the tree right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to go to open space and see if I can get the satellites. If I don't get the satellites, I won't be able to have altitude hold. Okay, now I'm with the open. And there's no more red. That means I got satellites. Okay? Got satellites now. Let me just take off. I'm just gonna put on altitude mode first. I wanna make sure this damn thing just fly right. This is my first fly after the crash. Oh, it flies right. For something that hit the ground so hard, I'm not going to GPS mode. It's on GPS mode. Okay. Light screen. Got my hands. Already it's off the hands. You can see the damn thing is working the way it's supposed to be. I like this. You know what? I'm impressed that this thing, even when it crashed so hard to the ground, the damn thing is still working. You know, that proves that NASA is quality. You know, these people, they give you something that works and something that's gonna survive a crash. Now it's just small breeze right now, so the breeze is gonna just push the aircraft around, but he's still there. Very impressed. I just take command on the aircraft again. And I'll send it to the middle of the park. I'm too close to this and now I'm gonna leave it there. I see he stays there. stays there. You can see the trees in the background are moving. I mean, it's a little bit windy. Just a little bit. I'm taking a video that I'm gonna send to a friend of mine. So show him that this thing is back to life. Alright. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go to the middle of the park over there. You're gonna click the fail-safe and see this thing, how the auto land works. Okay. Just let go of the stick. You're not touching anything. You're just staying there. I'm gonna click fail safe. And he's auto landing right now. Now to regain, that's it, perfect. You just land by itself. That's really cool. Now to regain the aircraft again, I just flip the failsafe off and get off of GPS. This is the switch. This is a 3-position switch, manual, altitude, and GPS. And this one is to activate the failsafe on and off. Okay, so I'm back in GPS. I'm gonna go to the air again. Okay, I'll go again. I'm back in GPS. That's really cool. GPS. Now I'm gonna click the failsafe again, so then thing land again. And it's landing. I'm not touching anything. It's landing by itself. That's awesome. That's really cool. Okay, so just gonna turn this thing off and go again to the air. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna send it up again. You're gonna turn the failsafe again, but then before the aircraft land, I'm gonna try to retake control of the remote. Something that I shouldn't have done the day of the crash, but I didn't. Okay, let's go again. Oh, after you use the failsafe, you have to get out of GPS and then go back to GPS if you want to fly in GPS again. I'm gonna leave it there. And now it's on altitude hold. Now I'm gonna click fail safe. As soon as I see this thing flying, I'm gonna let, going down. Okay, it's going down again. I got control again because I shut off the GPS. I shut off the fail, so I turned off the fail safe. I put it back into normal, and then I turn off the fail safe. So now I'm in altitude mode, so I don't have position hold right now. So I'm gonna see that the yellow light's on. So let me just go. Now I'm in GPS. Now I can let my hands off my remote, and he's gonna stay there. I don't have to be worried about the wind taking the aircraft away. He's just staying there the way it's supposed to be. And that's really nice. It's really, really nice. Now we're just gonna bring the aircraft away and see he goes back. Yeah, he goes back to where he's supposed to. He knows where he belongs. That's really cool. Okay, so that's pretty much it. That's the end of this video. Let me just land it. At least I know that my aircraft is still alive and my GPS still working good. Okay, so please don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.